Vintage is fine, but you know.
I understand Rice City makes you bring your own.
Yeah, that's
right.
in the
You
newspaper.
saw that.
Yeah.
We're live?
It's just sad.
Okay.
You know, it's just it's an opportunity.
Mr. Salanitro, would you lead us in the pledge? Mr. Salanitro.
That's the way, like, you know, hey, get back
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I've got to believe, Goldie, we made a lot of money in the park today, as hot as it is. I've got to believe that we had a lot of people in our park today, as hot as it is here. Okay, so Mr. Nowotnik, can I get a motion to bring the meeting to order?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Would you call the roll, Mr. Nowotnik?
Sure. Commissioner Brett?
Here.
Commissioner Salanitro?
Here.
Commissioner Rosenberg?
Here.
Commissioner Pagano?
Here.
Commissioner Sack?
Here.
Commissioner Carvin?
Here. Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments on the meeting's minutes from May 20th? If not, can I get a motion to approve those said minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Abstain.
Yep. Mr. Mayor Sack missed the last meeting. Goldie, it's your turn. It's your turn.
I didn't think it would be that fast. Okay, I'd like to talk to you just about Oakland Beach, because we are blessed with Oakland Beach. I don't know how many of you have been there, not in the evenings, but in the evenings on the days when the sun goes down and the moon comes up. It is incredible under that pavilion. It's incredible. We have loads of people that come all the time, and I'm blessed that God gives me the right to hand out the programs for the night, for the concerts. We are blessed with the 7 concerts. We should have loads of concerts, not just 7, because it is the most beautiful place in the whole area. It's incredible. Sometimes I'm very unhappy when I see dogs running loose or dogs on leashes coming through the park. I said, wait a minute, we get a lot of children there, and I don't want any of the children to get bitten by dogs, you know, who think that they can go and pet them and everything else, but it doesn't always work out. So I just want to remind you that we are blessed with Oakland Beach. Thank God for Bill, who comes early, and I just pray that the weather will stay good this year for all our concerts, okay? Because they are incredible. Okay.
Thank you very much, Goldie. Thank you. Other comments from the public? Okay. Sorry. Pardon me. Yep.
You didn't see me.
I apologize. Sorry. You're hidden back there. We got all
I
the-
was, just for a second though, sorry. Ann Muller, Friends of Rydetown Park. I sent an email today to Bishop and Fred and Terry and Bill in regard to the movie. That's all, I just wanted to mention that. It is July 14th. The rain date is the 20th. We've asked for extra garbage cans, bit of extra security, some employees to help the 2 county men when they arrive to help set up the movie. The electricity goes over by the snack bar there. It's the same thing every year, so that's it. Just wanted to thank everybody for helping out with that.
Well, and
And it's a lot of fun.
It is. So it's July 14th. And the rain date's July 21st.
Correct.
And we're talking at about 8:40 p.m., I see?
About, at dusk. And Scott Kazan, the Balloon Man, will be back again.
Wow, so bring your kids about 7 o'clock?
I think so, about 7, yeah. Bring your dinner.
Bring your dinner?
Yeah, it's going to be
Fantastic.
Yeah.
July 14th, don't miss
Yeah,
it.
thanks.
Thank you.
And it's
Thank you.
Goonies, right, Ann?
It is the Goonies.
Great one. Great
Is that
pick.
a good one? I haven't
That's a
seen
good
that.
one.
Is that a
Sure,
good one?
yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Other comments from the public? Oh, please, Jim.
May I listen to the rest of the meeting and then...
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Sure, no problem at all. Rydetown Park Management Report. Mr. Gioffre?
Commissioners,
You all have a copy of the management report in your package. So I'm just going to highlight a couple of things. We worked diligently on operations for the opening of each season, and we did quite a few maintenance and repair work, quite a bit of maintenance and repair work. We're currently capable of taking credit cards, and with the new hard wiring and the new cash registers, it's been performing very well, a lot better than in years past, with very little with very little need for our consultant. We've done quite a bit of repair and repainting projects, including some of the stanchions that run along Forest Avenue that we were in the process of fixing back when we had this community conversation. They've been fixed and repainted. They all look really good. We have one problem with a part that we're waiting for the fountain in front of the administration building, but there's two fountains there. One works well, and the other one we're waiting for a part. The pond contractor has carried out 3 algae treatments through June 13th. We're beginning to see extensive algae growth due to the sun and our friends the ducks that fertilize the algae in the pond. In fact, we had someone there today trying to clear up our aerators and our circulator, which we have to send somebody out there in a boat just about every other day to keep the aerators working. Now, there's a problem that's beginning to develop from all the food that the patrons are feeding the ducks and the geese, and it's creating an E. coli problem in the pond. Now, outside of just telling people, which will break the little kids' hearts, don't feed the ducks, we at one time explored putting grain there and that they can use, but you'll always get people feeding them bread and crumbs and things like that. The beach rake tractor, which you'll be probably voting on tonight, the engine seized. I ran over to Playland and spoke with the general manager over there, and he was happy to assist us in just raking the shoreline every day until we either repair or replace our tractor. The rest of the beach we do by hand, and it's quite extensive manpower, but so far we're doing it. One other problem we had was with the drains from the showers. We're going to have to call in a plumber and roto-root the lines that run under the showers. We're in the process of discussing, meaning commissioners here, of discussing the whole new approach to our garbage recycling and replacing the dumpsters that are there now. Benny will have a report on that. Benny and I had a number of conversations, and he's got some news there. I think we're on the verge of turning that whole situation around because the dumpsters that are there are beginning to collapse. We did have to shut the beach down on 3 separate occasions, 2 on one day and 1 on another. We have to shut it. We shut down for 45 minutes. We basically allow Seaside Johnny patrons to come in, and the 45 minutes is due to the Rye PD, which tells us you just can't close down, reopen, close. So they want us to do a minimum of 45 minutes, so we adhere to that. And the process we have set up is an instant process. The word comes from the back when we're filled up, and then our security guys get in place, and we're good to go.
So you've closed down twice.
Twice in one
2
day.
days. Twice in one, 3 times, twice in one day, and the second time.
One on Memorial Day, or reverse, one or the other.
Twice on Memorial Day.
And then once on the other.
Okay.
Okay. So that process is in play and is working very well. On May 16th and 17th, we had some vandalism, which our security chief is handling, making reports on. 3 cement benches were turned over. They broke the water pipe on the lifeguard building, and a number of garbage cans were knocked over and the garbage thrown around the beach. And they scratched one of our plexiglass panels, which we're going to replace with a new door, plexiglass door there. The Rye City Council is considering an amendment to the city's leash law. Everybody's familiar with that. We ordered the 4 light towers for July 4th, which is probably our busiest day, and that'll keep the back lot lit up for safety reasons. I mentioned before that the credit card system for payments is working well. Permit sales through May 31st were 83,670 versus 65,350 last year, 2013. Total revenues for this period are 129,615 versus 103,487 for the same period in 2013. Revenue from 6/1 to 6/12 totaled another 68,000. We've been closed due to weather for at least 6 days right after Memorial Day, so it's the weekends that are carrying us right now. The beach operations, the swim lines and the markers were set before Memorial Day. Everyone, the beach and the lifeguards, the training and hiring were all went well. Staff's been working on a revised brief but important set of beach regulations, which we're going to, we're not going to put stationary signs, but we're going to put them in the folding. We have these folding things that we can put out and take in at night with the beach regulations, because we've had people break the rules and then say to us, it's not, we don't have regulations anywhere, so...
Do we have the cameras up now?
No.
Do we?
It never went forward.
No,
We got postponed, is that when they...
Yeah, we...
I thought Billy Villanova, I thought we had kept it in there.
Well,
Yeah,
now
you'll
that
get
we
that.
got a request,
We did,
to
but-
use that money, yeah.
So it's in now,
Yes,
so we may not at the end of
but
the
we
evening.
may not by the end of
By
this
the end
meeting,
of
I don't know.
by the end of the evening. We started, Lisa Easton was at the beach with a couple of her engineers. She's beginning the design of the new cashier booth in the middle and the new ramps. She came down with a couple of her engineers, and she's, in the process of
When do
doing
we
that.
expect to have that?
She's saying late August at best. Again, she's got it, one of the things is we do have to take it through the Rye City approval process. So, there's once
So
it's...
we're not going to make it for the season?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it.
Late August, early September is her estimate. And because we have to go through the different boards in Rye, but I'm looking forward to that all being in place by next year.
Right.
Right now, we're still sweeping the ramp very often to keep sand off it. And the new ramp will be FDA regulated, will follow FDA regulations. We held our pre-opening staff orientation program on May 18th. We gave everyone an orientation brochure and a employee code of conduct page. All the employees receive a copy of these materials, and Billy Villanova gave a welcoming talk to them, to the staff, on behalf of Rye-Town Park Commission. Employee ID cards, staff shirts, and apparel have been provided to all employees. We had 2 senior staff meetings, which I have every other week, to go over problems in the park. Our goal is to have problems filter up to senior staff and then make the decisions to solve the problems there. You mentioned, it was already mentioned about Goonies, so that's all set. Thanks to Ann. She does a great job on that, and we get a couple hundred kids there, and adults. So it's a good, fun recreation. The High Performance Track Club started its spring training April 30th. They're hoping to expand in time. They're looking to have 50 participants by the fall. National Alliance on Mental Illness Walk and the Scuba Sports Club that cleaned the waters, mostly at Playland. All of that took place without incident. Trying to work out some kind of a dance program for Jill Dornick, who just this year couldn't get her program together. As far as park development goes, Bill, you want to fill them in on that? Yeah. We'll wait for Bill to finish, and then I'll take any questions.
A lot of this is just sort of the nitty-gritty things, just so, sometimes people, what do they do over there at Rydtown Park and what keeps them busy? So we have a lot of details that have to be dealt with, as you know, because if you don't solve them when they're small problems, they turn into big problems. So we're trying to work on all that. As far as park development is concerned, we currently have received $1,700 in sponsorship funds. We got $700 from Carpet Trends for the movie and $1,000 from 3 different companies for this concert series. I've got one more in the works, hopefully, that we'll be getting one more sponsor for this. So that's what's been going on. I mentioned it's Rye Ford Subaru, the Pearl Group of restaurants in Rye, and there's a company called Active Energy, which sells these energy drinks. And let's see, what else? We're actually having a meeting on Thursday about the benches with Friends of Rydtown Park to try to clarify what's going on with that. And I was there to represent Rydtown Park at the Memorial Day Parade, which was a good time was had by everybody. I think, one of the goals of park development is to become more involved in the mainstream of activities with the City of Rye, since we're in the City of Rye. And I think, the more they know what we do and we all work together, I think it really is helpful to have a good feeling on the part of Rye residents about the park is it's for them, and we want them to be involved with it. And I think, unless there's any questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Any questions for Fred or Bill? Please.
Thanks, Joe. Fred, with regard to the vandalism, do we submit insurance claims on that?
Yeah, when it's substantial. When we had the break-in on our north cashier's booth and they destroyed a computer, we claimed that.
Yeah.
But the small ones, turning over 3 benches, we just put them back up. Breaking the water pipe, our guys fixed it. We didn't have to go out to a plumber. So if there's a substantial damage, we would do that.
Do we have a deductible on our policy?
$5,000.
Per incident?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not an aggregate amount that we should be documenting all these smaller things that add up?
We do anyway.
Well, we file reports on all vandalism that's there.
With the insurance company?
Excuse me?
With the insurance company?
With the police.
With the police.
The documentation is there.
Okay.
But, as Fred says, you turn the benches back, you pick up the trash cans, you pick up the trash, no real damage. The incidents where we had damage, we definitely notify the insurance people, because at that particular point, we don't even know what the value is, or the cost to remediate.
Right. Okay. The benches probably add up to a fair amount of money. How extensively were they damaged?
They turned them over.
Oh, they just tipped them over?
Yeah.
Tipped them back, we put them back up. They're big cement, they're heavy benches.
Okay.
So our guys just set them straight up.
Okay. With regard to the projects that require Rye City approval, what are those projects, Fred, just so I...
That's the middle booth and the new ramp.
Okay, thank you.
That's in the cost of that is in the budget.
And those have been submitted to the City of Rye Land Use Board?
No, we don't.
Not yet.
We don't have a design
Oh, okay,
yet.
but they will be?
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
She made it clear to us that,
Okay.
she would have to take those designs there.
Okay, I appreciate you, understanding that some of these projects need to go through our land use boards. I really appreciate that.
We had that discussion, and we even had a discussion if we needed, because of its national historical landmark, if we needed permission for that, and she doesn't think we do. But she did say she would go before the Rye Commissions
Okay.
with the plans.
Thank you, Fred. That's all, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Second. Any other, please? Yep.
Just a comment. I did review the staff orientation materials that you had updated and the code of conduct that we went through. And I have to say I was pleased with the way that all turned out, with the way the update on that turned out. It seems like a really great foot to start on with your new staff for the summer. So thank you for updating that.
Joe, I'll go by your decision on this, but at the community conversation, there were some accusations
Absolutely, please.
sent my way.
No.
Just
Well, just to be clear, just so for the public, so in the community conversations, there was some comments, not very flattering comments made vis-a-vis some of the town staff, and in particular, Ride Town Parks, supervisor, Mr. Gioffre. And at that meeting, since it was a community conversation, I asked Mr. Gioffre to wait till tonight to respond if he wanted to, because I wanted to encourage the public to say what they had to say and get what they had to say off their chest. So please.
And this is in no way tit for tat type of thing, but I personally have never had an exchange with park users that generated into an argument. It's not in my nature. I'm not argumentative. There are times when I have to speak authoritatively, but I don't raise my voice beyond speaking authoritatively. The signs that offend Ms. Curran were directed by this commission for me to put up after the dog jumped into the carriage with the child. So I wanted to clarify that. And then the time that she handed me a piece of cement and said she found this in the park, she took my comments out of context. I said to her, I would handle it, show me where the problem is. My problem is that we have $26 million worth of repairs overall, because we had done a study. And I said to her, my door is open all day long, every day. When you have a problem, you come and see me. But she prefers to ambush me at a public meeting. That's number two. Number three, any employee who abuses the carts, if there are donuts being done and we know about it, that person will not have a cart for the rest of the summer. And we constantly upgrade our employees, especially the rangers, on courtesy, to the point of that if they raise their voice in any way, form, or manner, we'll pull them right off of their job. So they've been trained and are trained each and every year for that purpose. And that's about all I have to say in answer to those accusations.
Well, I appreciate your waiting till this evening to respond. I know it was, I think there were a number of very unfair comments made, and I certainly didn't feel the need to respond to each of those unfair comments that were made, but I do want to be clear that I think that the Ride Town Park staff has worked very, very hard in executing and implementing Ride Town Park Commission policy. And I think sometimes you guys get caught in the middle of our policy and some of the desires that people like to see. But I can't thank you enough for all your hard work. I know how hard you're working at the park. And again, we said this at the community conversation. If anybody, so let me say it on TV, anybody finds any of our park staff, and I know Mr. Gioffre supports me on this, that's abusive in any way, I want to know about it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know about it immediately, and it will be dealt with immediately. Mr. Joffrey's door is open. Mr. Nowotnik's door is open. Larry Maiano, our head of security, gave his cell phone number at the committee conversation and email, and I'm perfectly available as well. So we want to know if anybody is any way of the view that they've been mistreated in any way, shape, or form. Please bring it to the attention of anybody on this commission. I know everybody on this commission has the same high standards, and we fully expect that, and I appreciate.
Well, the comments were more for the commissioners that were there that day.
Right.
And we're about the only park that has about 250 committees overseeing everything we do.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Gioffre? Thank you, Mr. Gioffre.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Bill. Thanks very much. All right, new tractor. Wow, okay. can't Playland just do this for us this summer? I mean, is this the only alternative?
You know, one of the things I think...
We're all...
Okay.
Everybody in this board's desperately... let me throw the question out there as I read this. We have a tractor that broke for the people listening tonight. It's going to cost about $22,000 basically, right?
Right.
To replace it.
For a brand new one.
And the tractor's 26 years old,
26
so
years
obviously the cost of repair makes no sense. And so the question really is, for me, is, okay, well, I guess that makes sense, but, every member of this board is desperately trying to reduce cost. Why don't we talk to Playland about sharing a tractor? Why don't we try? I don't know what our friends here, other commissioners feel, but if they can, I would rather share the purchase of a new one with them. I would like to find a way, since it's a single beach, right?
Yes.
And is there any impediment to using a tractor on the beach? Or
The impediment, frankly, is time.
Oh.
All right. Right now, for example, for us to just clean our beach takes about 2.5 hours. That's the process.
Each day.
Each day. So our guys come in about 6:30, and they're ready somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
With the tractor.
With the tractor.
Tractor pulls
Playland has the same issue. Their beach is maybe a little bit smaller than ours, but they have the same problem. They have to clean it in the morning.
They have one tractor?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, yes.
Joe, they're actually doing us a favor, and they're not raking our whole beach, because I wouldn't expect that of them, because it takes 2.5 hours. They're just doing the shoreline with the seaweed. Our guys have to go out there and spend a couple hours cleaning the beach up and raking certain areas. So I don't think it'd be feasible or fair to ask them that.
Other questions, comments from the committee?
I thought that tractor was 45 years old.
No, it was 1988.
Fred, when you were looking at the, if I may, when you were looking at the tractors, Fred, do we presently have a front end loader with the existing equipment?
No.
Front end loader attachment?
No.
Have you considered? Do you have a need for it? I mean, if we're looking at maybe having to
They may have a larger.
consider something new,
Bishop did the research on the tractors.
do you need a front end?
And the front end loader.
No.
Sure.
No, but Zika.
What's the advantage?
Well, obviously, it's a front end loader. If you're moving sand, if you're moving debris, whatever it is, just to move equipment and,
It has to pull a large rake, so it has to have special hookup.
Yeah, hydraulic.
A front end
hydraulic
loader
hitch.
would add about $3,500 to the price.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
You didn't never had a need for it up to this point.
No.
I just thought, as long as you considered it.
Yeah. Well, we had John Zika ready. See, Bishop had told me to come up with a couple of plans, alternate plans. So we had John Zika ready to come in with his front end loader to help with the cleanup on the beach. But I went over and spoke to the general manager there. They're really doing us a favor, because we've done favors for them in the past. So it's a thank you. He said to me, it's my pleasure. Whether or not publicly, I don't know. And he has problems in the North Beach because the sand is too soft.
How does he get the tractor over?
We have a fence
There's
that
a gate in the
there's a gate.
with a door.
Okay.
I gave him a key, so they just open it. Then our guys are out there at the same time cleaning up other trash that's around. There's two things we do that are very, very important, and they're my priorities. The beach, which is our product that we sell to the public, and the park, which is a beautiful park. So 6:30 in the morning, they're cleaning the beach, rain or shine, unless it's pouring rain. And around 9 o'clock, and this is an answer to that woman that got up at your board meeting, around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock maybe, the latest, our park is clean. But on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, when people stay late and we fill our parking lot in the park, we don't have a night crew to go out and clean the park. We do it first thing in the morning. And I'm very particular about that. We send our guys out with a little canister and a pickup. We pick up every little piece of paper, and I go out every day to check on there.
So I appreciate that, and I know you do, but as you can tell, there are people walking through that park at all hours of the day, and sometimes very often, and sometimes, actually not sometimes, but very
Part
often
of
in
the
the early
260
morning.
committees.
Right. So I guess a question I have is there a way to just put out more garbage cans, especially on a Sunday evening?
Where we have every can that we have right now out, and I spoke to Bishop about it, and he researched, and we're about to purchase 50 new barrels.
Yeah, we're looking for more.
We need them. They're expensive. Actually, they're almost $100 each. But somehow Bishop found a place that's going to give it to us for what, $28 or something?
Well, delivered cost will be about $30 a barrel.
So once we have double barrels everywhere,
Right.
that should prevent the overflow anywhere.
I have a question, an accounting question. Should I come up here? My background is in the non-profit sector, and when we bought vehicles for the Greenberg Nature Center, it's not a, what do you call it, a consumable expense. It's a capital expense, and you actually have an asset. So if we bought a $22,000 tractor, it wouldn't show up as a $22,000 expense on your books. Is that the way the commission does it?
You're right. In fact, Bishop's correctly put this in the capital expenditures budget.
So it would not be a 22.
It was a B priority. We didn't expect it to.
No, right.
And
So
you would
the
have
B
listed
priority's
it.
become an A priority, and we're taking an A priority. The proposal here, but
It would be listed as an asset.
You're right.
The same way the ramp would be listed as an asset, although that's a little trickier because you can't necessarily sell a ramp. But
You're right.
but you can certainly sell a tractor. You know.
So you're absolutely right. The short answer to your question is yes.
Yes. Good.
Comments, thoughts, please, Mayor Sack.
Thank you, Supervisor Carvin. I don't know, I mean, you know, the catchphrase these days is shared services. This seems to be like the poster child for shared services, doesn't it? I mean, I understand the dilemma, I guess, of the number of hours it takes, but, I mean, it is one beach, as you said, Joe, and, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to fathom, in a way.
Well, along the lines of that, you know, we do have City of Rye, Portchester, Rye Brook, Rye Neck, which is a village of Mamaroneck. Have we tried to see if they have a tractor hanging around that maybe they use for snow that we can use for you know, dragging a rake around? Maybe we can ask one of our neighbors.
I think we had a relationship at one time with Portchester on that, but it's too much to ask. I mean, without paying.
Well, the commission can ask for on the behalf.
Well, we have several representatives of the communities right here.
It's just a phone call away. They say, hey, is there a tractor that we can use in the meantime? You know why I say that? Because I think there's no question in my mind that it's a priority because the beach has to be cleaned every day. There's no question about it. It's just a shame that you just gave your report that we've had some vandalism. The security cameras were obviously, you know, reprioritized already to get to where it was going to be done this season, and it's kind of proven already that we should have the security cameras as well. You know, we have this, we have a lot of things that need to be done, and not enough money to do it, but maybe it's worth a phone call just to see if the other communities that are the makeup of the Right Town Park can see if they have a tractor hanging around that will get us through the season, and then let's retool our priorities, you know, after the season's over and see if we could afford to buy a new one then. If not, then we'll do it now.
Well, how about how about till July 15th, right? July 15th is the next commission meeting.
I had told...
I could certainly check with Portchester on it, whether we do or not, and we'll find out.
I mean, I
It's
think
just another 30 days.
Well, so how hard it will be to last another 30 days, right?
Well, the point is, it's up to
28.
Playland. I told him we were having a meeting tonight to make a decision on it. And, you know, he's been kind enough to give it to us for over a week now, which takes at least an hour of his guys' time. I'm sure it takes them 2.5 hours to do their whole beach and then another hour
We
to
can
do
easily offer
ours.
to pay, I mean, you know, and pay for the time and the fuel or what have
Yeah,
you. Some sort of a stipend for them to continue to do the
Yeah,
operation.
but you
Do they
may
have
run
a
into
beachcomber?
insurance problems.
Do they have a beachcomber, or do they have a rake
They have
on
a
a
rake
tractor?
similar to ours.
Similar to ours.
Yeah.
Because there are the type of cleaning systems out there as well. I know that the Village of Mamaroneck has a beachcomber, which is a different operation. where
Smaller beach.
It's almost like a street sweeper type setup.
It's a smaller beach.
Right. No, my question is that if a municipality
has a tractor that they're not using this time of year, because typically tractors could be used
I don't have a
for
problem with that.
winter season, let's say. It's worth asking.
What I want to say about Playland is that if it takes them 2.5 hours to do their beach,
Yeah.
and then another 2.5 hours to do our beach, what time are they going to start? 5 a.m.? You know what I mean? We need to be ready to go by 9 a.m.
No question.
And I mean, if somebody wants to loan us a tractor or lease us a tractor, I don't have any problem with it. I told the manager over there we'll have a decision sometime this week. So-
I do want to point out that just borrowing a tractor is not quite that easy. There are some specifications required for the rake. There are multiple hydraulic control lines that are required so that you can raise and lower the depth of the raking equipment. There's also hydraulic lines for the dumper. Once you get your equipment, you then dump it into some trash bin or what
Dumpster.
have you. So, and there's also a power takeoff requirement, a minimum horsepower power takeoff requirement off the back of the tractor to run this whole contraption. So, although there may be tractors available, we would probably have to alter them to some degree to make them compatible with the equipment. That's the other issue that's floating.
Originally, in our estimate, in our capital, we had thought that the cost of a new tractor was $45,000.
Yes, that's correct.
So now it's $22,000.
Right.
So-
We actually contacted the sand rake manufacturer.
Okay.
We got the recommended specifications from them for our specific model of rake. There are bigger rakes which then, require larger capacity. This tractor, they feel, is the perfect size for what we need to do. And I was surprised that we were able to get such a good price.
The
Just-
Argento, is this a state contract price?
No,
County contract price?
no.
Emergency contract price?
No, it turns out that New York State does not have a contract for tractors in effect right now. Apparently, it expired a couple of years ago. Argento was able to find a federal contract that we can buy under. And that's the contract pricing that we have here. It represents an 18% discount off of list. We think it's the right opportunity right now in terms of the timing. And I think as Fred says, that's our product. That's what we have. If we don't clean it,
A point of interest?
Hold on, Mayor Rosenberg, please.
A couple of things. Number one, we just implemented, we recognize that sometimes we need to buy equipment in the Village of Rybrook also that's not on state contract, or we think we're not getting the best price for it.
Right.
So what we did was we just passed a new law that allows us to get what we call best value pricing, that allows the Village of Rybrook to buy capital items like this off of other states' state contract,
Right.
Which in a lot of cases are better than the New York State contract and the county contract. So
Absolutely.
you may want to look into that.
Okay.
Number two, if we can't find from either one of the municipalities or the county option isn't going to work, which it doesn't seem like it is it possible to go and rent one for the next month or so, or for however long we need to do a short-term rental? I know that there are some heavy rental places around here where you can get that type of stuff.
Yeah, we've asked Argento to do some homework for us in terms of the possibility of renting for some period of time.
I know there's
you
a
could
place
probably
in
get a
North White Plains
3-month
or Elmsford or something like that.
You can get a 3-month rental, for example. I would think at a reasonable cost.
What's the reason? Do you have any idea what that would be?
I don't know. To give you an idea, we're renting lights right now. Fred, I don't know if you have the cost of those lights.
I don't have them, but they're about
So we rent them for a weekend.
$600 a night.
Yes, each.
Well, I don't know if we're comparing apples.
500.
No, I understand. I'm just saying that, it's a piece of
Rental's
equipment.
high. But
Rental of equipment
a
is
point
high.
of interest for all of you.
Sorry, I think did you have a comment in the back, Mac?
Joe, I recommend you look at United Rentals, which is a heavy-duty construction rental firm, very prosperous,
Yep.
delivered on site. They'll give exactly what Bishop is looking to do, and you can do a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month,
Yep.
whatever you want to do, gives you flexibility to make the time decision.
Perfect.
Paul's comment, leverage whatever you can as far as best opportunity. I find very hard to believe at this point New York State's contract's expired. New York Thruway has to buy all the lawnmowers, has to buy all those tractors. I believe that contract is still in place. I would suggest pursuing, that contract again, because there's a constant turnover of equipment at the state level, so this contract's still got to be in place.
Mr. Gioffre, did you have something?
I was just going to, as a point of interest, and my couple of my supervisors disagree with me, but if I were to prioritize
Do you allow that?
Huh?
No, I'm sorry.
If I were to prioritize it, I would say that the tractor is the priority over the cameras.
You know, I think actually, I'm going to respectfully disagree. I think that what I'm hearing from the commission is we probably, I think it sounds like the sequencing probably is, first of all, we can, see what Playland's prepared to do. Second of all, if there's another municipality that can lend it to us, or rent it to us on a cost-effective basis, and also look at United Rentals and private. And I think, unless the price is absolutely exorbitant, crazy, I would have thought that, it sounds to me the commission is saying go ahead and rent, finish the summer, go forward with the expenditure to get these gosh darn vandals out of our hair, and we can put them in jail. And I think that's where we're headed, because, and sort of see where we are, but I don't want to speak for the commission, but it sounds like consensus is being
I
generated
think that's a strategy. I would be interested, though, Fred, how many of our people does it take to rake those beaches, rake that beach for 2.5 hours?
It takes one person with a rake. And then, let's say they're just doing the shoreline, it takes him an hour with the rake, and then our guys go out there for an hour and a half, and just pick up any other trash that's out there.
How many guys, Fred? How many guys go out?
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Joe, I would have to imagine that the do-it-by-hand method probably isn't efficient, and also it probably isn't as effective. Not to say they're not doing a good job, but, they're all
The rake
human,
picks
right?
up everything, cups, everything, even small.
See the stuff
So,
that's underneath.
it sounds like the solution is continue to work with Playland until you can get a tractor either from a private vendor on a rental basis or one of the municipalities. I think that's the solution, because I would like to explore with the county shared services. It sounds like it's an absolute, I agree with Mayor Sack, that's got to be easy to do, and real easy to do. It's one beach, and this actually may have triggered some real savings for us going forward, where in the future, we should be jointly purchasing equipment and really looking to jointly maintain the beach.
Well, I probably meet with Ken Pushia, the manager, but then he would have to meet with the commissioner of recreation.
No, I think that
go right up the ladder, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking. I think ultimately that's why I think we'll have to rent for the summer. So if you can keep them helping us out, as you say, for as long until we can get a rented piece of equipment in, and we'll get it, or a loaner. We either get a loaner from one of the municipalities or a rented piece of equipment, and then over the winter we'll need to sit down and have an intermunicipal agreement with Westchester County about how we want to,
And I'll inquire with the City of Rye Public Works to see if we have a spare tractor. I somehow doubt it, but because it's not just using it at certain times of the day, you probably have to keep it down there, right? So, so it's not. So it's truly going to be a spare tractor, not a tractor that you share with somebody.
We start at 6:30 in the morning.
And I'm just trying to envision where do you store it down there, Fred?
In our garage, the main garage.
In the back parking lot.
They back it in. Main garage, in the back.
Okay.
Got a lot of Army surplus that was through away,
Well, all right.
Great. Okay, so
just want to
please, yep.
Thank
Mayor
you,
Rosenberg.
Supervisor Park. Is this something, Bishop, that if you are able to procure a tractor either through one of the municipalities or just going to United Rentals or whatever rental company that you get it from, can you do this before our next Rhinestown Park Commission meeting? Because we don't want these guys to have to be out there.
I really don't see that much of a problem. I mean, we were focused on the fact that we probably would have to replace this tractor. And I see it as, the problem with shared services is Playland, even if they were willing to share, we're actually requiring it for the exact same task at the exact same time.
Sure. But my question is, do you need authorization from this board to go out and rent something if you have to actually go out and spend money? Because I don't want you to have to wait another month.
I mean, we're going to expense it. It's going to become, rental is an operating expense, so it'll just fall into normal operations.
Why don't we give Mr. Nowotnik limit. Thank you.
How do you know where to set the limit?
I don't even know, I wouldn't even know where to settle it.
That's gonna be difficult.
Yeah,
That's
The
gonna
only
be
thing is,
difficult.
a repair estimate is $3,000, right?
Our repair estimate
more than
right now, assuming no other ancillary damage, we haven't been inside,
Right.
all right, but the diagnosis, some mechanics are like,
Right.
prescient. The diagnosis is that there's probably either a blown piston or